For nearly 2 decades, football fans have watched Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi dominate the sport. They've seen them score incredible goals, break records, win league titles, lift Champions Leagues, and collect Ballon d'Ors. And yet, after witnessing years of greatness from both players, millions of people still disagree about one simple question. Who is the greatest player of all time? Some will tell you it's Ronaldo. Others will swear that it's Messi. And no matter how many statistics, trophies, or Ballon d'Ors you bring into the conversation, the debate never seems to end. But maybe the real question isn't who the GOAT is. Maybe the more interesting question is this. How can millions of intelligent people witness Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi careers, look at their achievements, and still arrive at completely different conclusions? This video isn't just about football, and it isn't just about Ronaldo or Messi. It's about understanding why people can look at the same evidence and still disagree, not just in sports, but in many aspects of life. Because beneath all the debates, social media posts, heated conversations, and endless comparisons lies something much deeper. The psychology behind how we form opinions and the ideas we choose to defend. Let's find out. For years, football fans have argued over who deserves the title of the greatest player of all time. Some point to Ronaldo's goals, his mentality, and his ability to dominate in different leagues. Others point to Messi's vision, his dribbling, and the way he seems to understand the game on another level. But psychologists have discovered something interesting. When we think we're being objective, we're often being influenced by forces we don't even notice. And the first of those forces is identity. Think about it. Imagine someone who grew up supporting Manchester United in the 2000s. They watched Cristiano Ronaldo arrive as a skinny teenager, inherit the iconic number 7 shirt, win the Champions League in Moscow, and eventually become one of the greatest players in history. Now imagine someone who spent their childhood watching Barcelona under Pep Guardiola. They watched Lionel Messi glide past defenders, destroy Real Madrid, and lift trophy after trophy alongside Xavi and Iniesta. Neither fan is lying. Neither fan is irrational, but both fans have attached part of their identity to a story. Psychologists call this social identity theory. It suggests that we build our sense of self not only from who we are as individuals, but also from the groups we belong to, our family, our country, our favorite team. And once something becomes part of our identity, defending it starts to feel personal. That's why conversations about football can become surprisingly emotional, because when someone criticizes your favorite player, your brain doesn't always hear, "I disagree with your opinion." Sometimes it hears, "Something important to you is under attack." And football is just one example. The same thing happens with politics, with religion, with the brands we buy, even with the phones we use. People don't just defend ideas. They defend the groups and identities attached to those ideas. But identity alone doesn't explain why the debate never ends. For that, we need to talk about something called confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the brain's tendency to search for evidence that supports what we already believe, while quietly ignoring evidence that doesn't. And the scary part is that everyone does it. A Ronaldo fan might immediately think of his hat-trick against Spain in the 2018 World Cup, his bicycle kick against Juventus, or the countless Champions League comebacks that earned him the nickname Mr. Champions League. A Messi fan might think about his solo goal against Getafe, his 4 goals against Arsenal, or finally lifting the World Cup in 2022 after years of criticism. Both people believe they are simply following the facts, but their brains are shining a spotlight on completely different pieces of evidence. Think about social media. If you believe Ronaldo is the greatest, the algorithm quickly learns what you like. Suddenly your feed is full of Ronaldo highlights, interviews, and statistics proving your point. If you're a Messi fan, the opposite happens. Before long, both people are living in different worlds, each one convinced that the truth is obvious. Psychologists have found that once people commit to a belief, they often become even more confident in that belief when challenged. In other words, arguing online rarely changes minds. Sometimes it makes people hold on to their opinions even more tightly. And that brings us to something even deeper: tribalism. Humans have always formed tribes. Thousands of years ago, belonging to a group increased your chances of survival. Your tribe protected you, supported you, and gave you a sense of belonging. The problem is that our brains still work that way today. We've simply replaced ancient tribes with modern ones. Now our tribes are football clubs, political parties, fandoms, and online communities. You can see it online every single day. A video praising Messi will instantly attract Ronaldo fans, pointing to goals and trophies. this. A post celebrating Ronaldo will bring Messi fans into the comments with statistics and clips. Within minutes, strangers from different countries are defending players they've never met as if they were family. Suddenly, the debate is no longer just about football. It's about us versus them. And once that happens, facts become less important than loyalty. This is why two fans can watch the same game and walk away with completely different interpretations. They're not just analyzing football, they're protecting their tribe. But there is another reason people feel so strongly about this debate, and it has to do with the stories we tell ourselves. Psychologists use the term parasocial relationship to describe the emotional connection people form with celebrities and public figures. The relationship is one-sided. Ronaldo and Messi don't know their fans personally, yet millions of people feel deeply connected to them. And if you think about it, that makes perfect sense. Ask a young football fan why they admire Ronaldo, and they might talk about discipline, hard work, and the idea that success is earned through sacrifice. Ask another why they admire Messi, and they might talk about creativity, humility, and the beauty of natural talent. Without even realizing it, many fans aren't just choosing a player, they're choosing the qualities they admire most in life. And that's why statistics alone can never settle the debate. Because the debate was never only about statistics. In fact, psychologists have identified another mental shortcut that plays a role here. The halo effect. The halo effect happens when we admire someone in one area and unconsciously assume they are exceptional in other areas too. If someone believes Ronaldo is the greatest footballer ever, they may also assume he has the strongest mentality, the best leadership, and the most admirable personality. The same thing happens with Messi. People who admire his talent may also assume he sees the world differently, thinks differently, or understands the game in a way nobody else can. Our brains love simple stories. We like heroes, we like villains, we like certainty. But reality is rarely that simple, and maybe that's the biggest lesson hidden inside the Ronaldo versus Messi debate. Because if you zoom out, you'll realize that this pattern exists everywhere. It's why people defend the company they work for. It's why someone stays loyal to a phone brand for years. It's why families argue about politics. It's why intelligent people can look at the same evidence and reach opposite conclusions. Most of us like to believe that our opinions come purely from logic, but psychology tells a different story. Our identities shape what we notice, our emotions shape what we remember, our tribes shape what we defend, and our experiences shape what we believe. So the next time you see people arguing about who the GOAT really is, remember this. The debate isn't just about football. It's about identity. It's about belonging. It's about the stories we tell ourselves about talent, hard work, and greatness. Because sometimes, when people argue about Ronaldo and Messi, what they're really defending is a part of themselves. And maybe the most interesting question isn't who the greatest player of all time is. Maybe the real question is, how many of your own beliefs were shaped by forces you never noticed? Think about it. And let me know in the comments. When you choose your GOAT, are you choosing a player or a story?